Ram TRX launch control. This week, finally, I'm driving the Ram 1500 TRX, the famous Raptor killer. If you're following me on my social media, I'm a previous Gen 1 Raptor owner. I had an 84. I love off-road pickup trucks, I could say, and I was also involved with Ford back in the days with the Gen 1 and Gen 2 Raptor launch. So I know my Raptors, so I was really curious, you know, to drive this Ram. It was supposed to be the killer of the Raptor and bringing back the V8 power to go against the EcoBoost. So this week I'm gonna see if this thing is the real deal. Design-wise, the TRX is quite different from a normal Ram 1500. First of all, in the front, we've got a spatial front end, spatial bumper and all that. You can notice the grille with the big lettering Ram. You can literally see through those letters. There's a reason for that. It's really to feed the maximum air to the engine. Same thing with the Ram Air here on top. You can also notice something quite similar to the Raptor. We've got some marker lights. It's gonna light up at night. You've got also some of those marker lights on the side. These are really, you know, similar to the Raptor, but usually we put marker lights on oversized trucks. So this is an oversized truck. It's bigger actually than a Ram 1500. This one is 6 inches larger than a normal 1500, and also with the fenders about 8 inches larger. So it's quite larger than a normal 1500. And this is really for off-roading. So on the hood, once again, you've got some heat extractor here. You've got that really dome, you know, muscular hood, really to fit a big engine underneath. In the front also, you've got some tow hooks, skid plates, everything is equipped to do some serious off-roading. If we step on the side, we can notice some massive 35 inches Goodyear Wrangler territories. Those are the latest tires from Goodyear. Good tires, pretty wide also, you know, for this truck. So you've got a really wide stance with these tires and also those larger fenders. Also optional on the TRX, you can get the bead locks. So if you want to do some serious off-roading, you can have those bead lock capable wheels. On the side, you have some rock rail to really slide on rocks and protect your truck, and at the same time you can use them as a side step, and they don't look as ugly, I could say, as a real side step, but you know, they're useful and they look good, and also they won't be on your way when you do some off-roading. So these are pretty practical. I really like that. So once again, wider fenders, TRX decals on the side. In the back, we've got some massive exhaust tips. I can fit my fist inside of them. Really massive to have an awesome sound. We have some tow hooks here. And finally, if we look inside of the bed, we have an optional spare tire. So if you do some really serious off-roading, you've got a spare in your bed and you don't have to put down that spare underneath. This one's got 2 spare tires, so you know, it's built for off-roading, but these are optional, you know, if you need the space in your box. These are really an add-on, and also you can also get the Ram bar to add some off-road lights on your TRX. A lot of options for this truck to do some off-roading. So wide stance, big tires. This truck is built for high-speed off-roading. It's not a Jeep Wrangler, it's not a 4Runner. It's built for high-speed off-roading. A lot of people, they're like, oh, it's an off-road truck, it should be against a Jeep and the trail and all that. It's not the case. The Raptor and the TRX are really built to go at higher speed in the desert, in mud, in the snow and all that. Not in really tiny trail. These trucks can go in the trail, but they won't be the best. You know, the Jeeps are built for that. These ones are built for high speed, jumping, and you know, a lot of bumps over and over again. So the Ram TRX is 2 inches higher than a normal Ram 1500. It's not a lot, but you've got a lot of suspension traveling. 13 inches in the front, 14 in the back. This is due to the Bilstein shocks we can find here. These 2.5 inches shocks are adaptive, so you can change your mode if you want them to have more traveling, if you want them to be harder and all that. So these 2.5 inches active damping are adjustable inside different modes. You can have them harder, you can have like more traveling with the Baja mode and all that. So specific suspension for the TRX. It's not the biggest. The Raptor now has got 3 inches Fox suspension. So we'll see if that fancy new Bilstein suspension is the real deal. Obviously the TRX is an off-road machine, so a lot of things been reinforced, like the frame, the differential in the back, drive shaft and all that. There's a lot of power under the hood, transfer case and all that, beefed up. So we'll see what this thing's got under the hood. So under the hood we can find the famous HELLCAT engine, 6.2 liter V8, good for 702 horsepower and 650 foot-pounds of torque. This engine is matched to a 8-speed transmission. Under the hood we don't see a lot of things because this thing's got a lot of cooling, you know, to run in extreme heat in the desert and all that. The Ram team's been spending a lot of time to make sure this engine don't overheat. But we're still able to kind of like see the engine kind of behind all this. You know, running a high performance engine like this one in a truck, off-road truck, it's not the same story as a Charger or Challenger or a sport car in general. There's a lot of things gonna move, a lot of dirt, a lot of heat or extreme cold and all that. So that's what we found here under the hood, and that's probably why also you get a little bit less horsepower with this TRX compared to a normal HELLCAT equipped car. We all know Ford and Ram, they're doing a little war lately, so the TRX with the Raptor and also the Jeep Wrangler with the new Ford Bronco. But one thing is kind of funny, the Ram team is hiding a lot of Easter eggs all around this Ram TRX. Like this one, we can see a T-Rex eating a Raptor. So it's literally something, you know, Ram is pushing on Ford, saying like, we're the big T-Rex and you're the little Raptor and we gonna eat you. On the towing side, you can tow up to 8,100 pounds with the TRX. For some of you, you're gonna say like, that's not a lot of weight. It's got big power and all that. These are high-speed off-roader. They're not built for towing. You're able to tow with them, but just like the Raptor, these trucks are not built for towing because they have so much traveling in the suspension. When you put a heavy trailer behind, they're gonna really squeeze. So even if you have a lot of power under the hood and all that, these are not the best choice for towing. So they're really built, again, for high-speed off-roading. Ram TRX launch control. Yeah. All right, on the road with the TRX, you know, I've been driving this truck for 8 days now. A lot of fun, obviously. I'm a previous Raptor owner, so this is really my style of truck, I could say. So what it is like to drive the TRX on a daily basis, it's a lot of fun. You hear the supercharger, you hear the exhaust. The HELLCAT engine is one of my favorite engine. You've got plenty of power, even if it's a big truck, heavy truck. This truck, you know, the weight's about 6,880 something pounds. You don't really feel the truck is heavy like that with that amount of power. You've got ton of grip with the 4x4 system. And I think, you know, Ram are putting this truck only in 4x4, just like the Trackhawk. Just warranty wise, I think, you know, transfer case and all that. I think the way it's set up, it's more rugged to be more reliable at the long term. You know, driving this truck in 2x4 will be really wild and not for everyone. With the 4x4 system, you know, it's way easier to drive for an average Joe or someone who's not, you know, used to a lot of power under the hood. So that's one thing. And I think the main reason why you're not able to put it in two-wheel drive, first, not break everything, and two, it's idiot proof, I could say. So I think that's why you're not able to put it in two-wheel drive. So one key feature about the TRX is really the way you can really play with the settings of this truck, just like an SRT model, but now it's a TRX. It works as the same, but even a little bit deeper with the TRX. So you got different modes with your TRX mode buttons, just right here. So you have different modes. You can set up your truck like the usual towing, snow, rock, and all that. But you have two main modes I've been using this week. It's sport mode. Sport mode, it really tightens up the suspension, loud exhaust, aggressive transmission engine and all that. The suspension comes really hard, just like a sport car. So if you like tight handling, hard suspension, sport mode is for you. But my favorite by far is the Baja mode. The Baja mode is gonna really put the suspension at their maximum traveling. So your truck is just like bouncing like a trophy truck. It's squatting when you're really accelerating with the truck. When you're braking, you're squatting in the front. In the curve, you're moving. When you hit some bumps, you barely feel them. I really like that. I like those shocks to be adjustable just with a press of a button. It's a lot of fun on this. And also you got the auto mode. The auto mode is gonna really react to the output of your throttle on the pedal. And this one's got kind of like the eco mode, I could say. It's gonna be quieter for the exhaust. Also a little bit better on the fuel economy. But also you can play with all these modes on your screen. And on top of that also, it's not just, you know, changing the way your steering wheel, your transmission, your engine, exhaust and all that, and suspension is going to react. It's going to also change the way it's going to put power through the 4x4 system. Depending on the modes, it's going to put more power in the back, sometimes more 50-50. Depends on the mode, but I really like that, and I think it's a big plus for the TRX. All right, I'm gonna test the handling on the sport mode. Let's see what this big truck's got. Yes. Yeah, in sport mode, you know, the the suspension is way harder when you really want to push it on the road, just like right now. In sport mode is really cool. I tested this curve with Jul Torq also in Baja mode, and the truck was just leaning really hard, and it was not that sharp for handling on tarmac, I could say, on the Baja mode. So if you want to really push it on the road, sport mode is the most for you. But overall, you know, Baja mode is still a lot of fun. Interior wise, you've got a spatial interior for the TRX. You've got some stitching in red, carbon fiber, TRX logo. You've got some Easter eggs in the metal console with some T-Rex and Raptor and all of that. That's funny, you know. But overall, the main big change you'll find inside of a TRX, it's really the shifter you'll find in the center console. Usually around 1500, you've got that roulette, you could say, to change your gears, and I don't really like that. We've got a real shifter at the right place. I like that. And instead of having the roulette, we have the TRX button mode, and that's something I really like. This one is fully loaded, obviously. You've got that switch when you're not really good to back up your trailer. We've got a heads-up display, finally, inside of a Ram product, so you can watch your speed. Really practical when you've got 700 horsepower under the hood. But overall, a really nice interior. From my point of view, I wouldn't choose all those touches and suede and all that. I think when you're having a truck and you do some mud, it's not the best to have those fancy touches inside, but that's my personal view. Obviously, the TRX comes only in one configuration, crew cab with a short box. Obviously, this truck is not built for work, and you're not able to get it in an extended cab or a single cab, unfortunately. But that's you know, the main market. As you can see on the Ford side with the new Gen 3 Raptor, you're not able to get the Super Crew Cab anymore. Only the Crew Cab is available. These are really because people don't buy the Super Crew anymore. From my point of view, the real Raptor, the real off-roader is the short one, you know. When you're really long, it's not the best when you're doing some off-roading. If you want to go through pretty much any obstacle, you want a short base, not a long wheelbase. But you know, people are buying these trucks because they're practical. You have plenty of space back there to put the kids or other stuff. So you know, practical, it's, you know, it's selling more than just having like the ultimate off-road machine. All right, fuel economy wise, this week everyone's like, ah, the TRX is terrible on fuel economy. It's doing like 30 liters per 100 kilometers. It's not true, you know. You can expect doing about 20 liters per 100 kilometers when you're driving a good mix of like highway, a little bit of city. If you're always in the city, maybe the TRX, it's not the right choice for you. It's hard to park, it's big, it's large. It makes no points to use a TRX in the city all the time. So I'm going to give you like the fuel economy of the usual buyer of these trucks. You know, a lot of highway, a lot of like you know, out of the city driving. I'm doing 20 liters per 100 kilometers average this week. I was able to go down in the 17 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway. Right now, that's what I'm doing. The maximum I was doing during the week was around 23, 24 liters per 100 kilometers. And that's true like Baja mode, sport mode, launch control, and also some idling. So you know, everyone who's really advertising and pushing like these trucks are so terrible on fuel economy, they're not truck guys. Price wise, this truck is not cheap. The one I'm driving this week, it's 120,000 Canadian. And if you want a base one, it's at around 95,000. For my point of view, the base TRX, it's kind of a good value for the money. But good luck to find one. Most dealerships gonna order a fully equipped one with all the bells and whistle. And these trucks are rare. They're really hard to get. Dealers are putting premium on them. They're getting more and more expensive. A lot of people want to put their hands on them because not a lot of TRX gonna be built. They're rare, so they're gonna keep their value. And telling you the truth, these trucks gonna be extinct pretty soon, even with the Gen 3 Raptor, Raptor R, rumors about Silverado, ZR2, ZRX, whatever they're gonna call it. You know, with the raise of the cost of liter of gasoline right now, I think these gonna be the last one, the ultimate truck with you know, gasoline power engine inside of them. I don't see a bright future for these truck, unfortunately, and I know why, you know, Ram is building these truck with the HELLCAT and all that. You know, I'm a previous Raptor owner, 84, big V8, always with the 6.2. I was always looking to put a supercharger on all my trucks. You know, I see the purpose, the demand and all that, why they were building these trucks. I was first in line, you know, to buy a Gen 2 Raptor with a V8 supercharged, and that never happens. So, you know, Ram really responds to that demand of the, you know, Ford customer who didn't get that V8 sound, V8 power, and they were frustrated against Ford for putting an EcoBoost engine. I know why, you know, Ford is putting the EcoBoost engine. It makes all the sense, but there's a lot of us who wanted a V8 supercharged inside of the Raptor, and Ram was the first to really deliver that. So overall, you know, I think if you like these trucks, you like the big power, you know, the white stands and all that, get your hands on one right now. But I think it won't last forever. With the new Hummers that's gonna come out, I'm pretty sure the new Hummer is gonna be able to go through any off-road obstacle the TRX is able to. The new Hummer is gonna have more power, fully electric, more torque, more luxurious, and about the same price. I think, you know, in the future, with the cost of gasoline and all that, the Hummer will make probably a better sense, you know, financially to buy. So buy these trucks while they're on the market. So let me know, are you really interested about these trucks? Is it a good value for the money, or you're just gonna wait for the new Raptor R supposed to come with the GT500 powertrain? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also join me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of these things. We're gonna see each other in the next review.